Hey folks, welcome to Transplant Helper today. My name is Jim Merle, and I've had a few viewers' questions here recently, all concerning prescription pain medications, particularly questions such as, Jim, should we actually be taking those prescription pain meds after transplant? Or like someone said, or should we just tough it out and try to make it without them? Well, I thought that was a pretty good question, and especially in light of what they call the opioid epidemic or the prescription pain medicine epidemic that's going on in our country. I know it's certainly concerning. And let me say in the beginning of this, before we go any farther, if you or someone you know out there is addicted to some kind of prescription painkillers, my heart goes out to you, and I want you to know you are certainly in my prayers, okay? We definitely need to be helping these people in any way, any form, any fashion, and I believe that you, the one who knows them best, you are the one to help, okay? Maybe you don't have the tools to actually do that yourself, but you're the one that's closest to them that can encourage them and to see fit that they get the help that they need. So my prayers go out for them and whoever they are, including maybe if it's you. But nonetheless, let's jump into this topic today. Now, you know as well as I do that when we come directly out of any surgery, particularly transplant surgery, as the anesthesias begin to lift, we're going to be placed on several different prescription pain medicines, most likely intravenous or IV drip, that sort of thing, or maybe just one shot to the neck kind of things. Yeah, it's nasty, but I've been there, done that. We're going to be put on some kind of pain medication in the beginning of that, probably even followed up by some kind of an oral pill that we take until we're tapered off of those things. And there's always a concern and always the worry out there that someone, even us, could become addicted to these pain medications. For that reason, a lot of times we try to refuse them. We try to, as someone said, tough it out. We try to go without those pain medicines and just try to make it. Well, there's a few things I wanted to consider with you about that. Number one, the real likelihood, and you need to do your own research, look up your own statistics. I'm not actually giving you any statistics, by the way, but look up and do your own research. The majority of people who are addicted to prescription pain medicines actually just kind of got into that on their own. A lot of that, even though they're prescription to begin with, a lot of those pain medications that are out there now are not actually being prescribed to the person itself. They're being taken up off the street, okay? They're being gathered around. And so you're probably not going to fall into that category, just in the fact that you're being administered these medications yourself by a doctor, okay? So that's one thing we need to understand, and maybe that eases our mind just a bit. It's obvious, we knew that, but anyway, that's the way it is. Number two to that, understand that those people who become addicted to prescription pain medicines, oftentimes, even if it is their prescription, they're getting that from kind of a general practitioner or from some sort of pain management specialist. They're not usually getting that directly from their surgeon, and especially in this case from their transplant surgeon or from the transplant team. Now, one of the things that I've always appreciated about my care pre and post transplant is that I have a team. I have a personal team that works for me, filled with doctors and nurses and surgeons and coordinators and dietitians and rehab specialists. I've got people all around me that work together as a team, and as they work as a team, they're working for my well-being, for my good, and they're going to do a better job probably than your average practitioner out there at managing any medication, especially when it's something like a prescription pain med, something that potentially could be addictive. They're going to do a pretty good job managing that, and they're probably, if it's like most cases, the transplant team is only going to be responsible for those medications from maybe the time of surgery to the time you leave the hospital, and after that you're not going to be able to get them to write you any more scripts. So they may say, well, if you really feel like you need it, you need to go be checked out over here, you need to go be checked out over there, and you need to have someone else manage your medicine, because my transplant team is a great, a well-rounded full package of health care for me. But when it comes down to writing a few prescriptions like pain medications, as we say in the South, they're just not going to do it, okay? They're not going to be our supplier for prescription pain medication. So understand that most people who get addicted to that get addicted off of basically the street version, or when they do, they're probably being prescribed it by a doctor who's not really a healthcare provider personally to them, and it's not really tailored to them as it should be. And that's unfortunate, but that's the truth. Now, what I want to reveal to you, remind you of, aside from that, in answering the question, should I be taking those pain medicines, I say, and this is personal opinion, I say absolutely you should, okay? Because I see too many cases out there where people try to tough it out. I know we all have different pain levels, and I know there will be people, and I'll tell you right now, I'll be happy for you if you do it, who will comment below this video and say, hey, I didn't have to take pain meds. Tylenol was enough, or I never took a pill. Wonderful. That's great. I'm excited for you. That's just awesome, okay? That's a step up, a leg up on some of us other folks. But for those of us who could not tolerate the pain for whatever reason, or weren't able to tolerate the pain, and we had to take prescription pain medicines, we're no less for that, okay? So understand that, but understand that taking those pain medications, especially within the first few days or weeks out of transplant, can be a definite benefit, okay? Because I don't know if you realize it or not, you do, but I don't know how much any of us comprehend it. But when you're put into a surgical situation, when you're put to sleep, when you're on anesthesia, you have a lot of medications on board that are paralyzing your body so it can't move, shutting off the nervous system, whatever that is, so that it doesn't feel pain. Just there's a lot of different medications that go in that. Very technical, I don't know anything about, but I know this: as you come out of that, that's when the pain comes back, that's when the feeling comes back, that's when the movement comes back. And if you're not allowing yourself to have those pain medications after that, you may run into a really, really hard brick wall eventually. Because one of the things the pain medications are doing for you in the beginning, they're allowing your body maybe to move and to get moving in ways that otherwise it may not be. For example, when it comes to a heart transplant where they're going to be cracking the sternum right here, hey, there is a lot of grinding pain that potentially, not everybody experiences, but that can come with that. And sometimes the buffer you need is just something that takes it away, or at least takes the edge off of it so you can get moving. Because I've said it many a times, the number one thing you can do post-transplant to make that transplant recovery successful is to move. And you don't need to be bedridden. You don't need to be, laid up in a chair somewhere, one of those awful hospital recliners, because it hurt too bad, because you couldn't move, okay? You got to get moving. And those pain medications allow that buffer there so that becomes possible. So let me encourage you, yeah, we're going to be cautious. We're going to be careful. You need to talk to your team about it if it actually concerns you, the potential for being addicted to pain medications, so that they help to manage you and get you off of those things quickly. But at the same time, I tell everybody, don't refuse the pain medicine. Just take it, use it while you have it, and appreciate it for what it does, which is makes you able, I should say, to get moving and to get better. And let me just add to that if you're on those pain medications, don't be a fool like me and try to go too long. If they're recommended every 4 hours, every 6 hours, take them every 4 to 6 hours, okay? Because if you go to that 8th hour and you get to hurting, it's that much harder to get those medications back on board, to take the edge off so you can get going again. Anyway, I don't know if that helps you out in any way, but my name is Jim Merle. I'm the Transplant Helper. I appreciate you watching this video. How about give it a big thumbs up, and especially share it out to those people who may be willing to see it or may need to see it. I just want you to live the best life you can and to really make this recovery something that's going to be possible for you. I appreciate you joining me again today. Until next time, please stay stronger, friends.